Ladies and gentlemen, I haven't been this depressed since Anne Hathaway came out as an Arsenal fan. This season is cursed. Southampton, draw. FA Cup final, lost. Bernardo Silva, Ilkay Gundogan, staying. Kevin De Bruyne, leaving. All of our young players not getting minutes. It is a complete shit show, and I am blaming Pep Guardiola for these last two games.
Kevin De Bruyne!
Bit of a topsy-turvy last couple of days for me, and I think I finally understand what that phrase actually means. On Friday, I work in a children's hospital, but I got floated to the adult side, and unfortunately, there was a cardiac arrest on my unit. A rapid response team was called, and unfortunately, an older man lost his life. Saturday morning comes along, and then we lose the FA Cup final. Then our transfer targets from Florian Wirtz goes to Morgan Gibbs-White, and I see that Frimpong signs for Liverpool, and they're about to get Milos Kerkez, and their fullbacks are going to be set for the next decade. Bernardo Silva, Ilkay Gundogan are likely to stay at Manchester City, but Kevin De Bruyne is going to be leaving. Fantastic. And then this morning, I got a call from my medical school saying that I could actually start in July. This setup, unfortunately, will be going away pretty soon in the next 2 months, and I will be doing a lot more football content. Nevertheless, I want to start by talking about Crystal Palace, and honestly, yes, it was a complete and utter shit show. I watched the game, and to be honest, losing to Crystal Palace is probably one of the best possible opponents to lose to. I'm seeing a lot of Crystal Palace fans getting emotional on social media. First time seeing their club win a trophy in 70 years. I believe that's the number that I saw online. 70 years, first major trophy. That is absolutely sensational. I remember the day like it was yesterday when Manchester City won that FA Cup in 2011. Congratulations to the Eagles. Congratulations to Crystal Palace and Eberechi Eze. Yes, that handball by Dean Henderson should have been a red card in my opinion, but the referee, I think, knew that, and he honestly knew that he made a mistake, and he gave us a pretty soft penalty in my opinion. Erling Haaland, lack of confidence, gives it to Omar Marmoush. I will never ever blame that player for ever missing the penalty, because I've been in those situations. I've never given the penalty up when I was a designated taker on my team, but I've seen it. Trust me, it's not a very pleasant experience. Crystal Palace completely tore us apart in terms of their counterattacks. Mateta with his strength, Eberechi Eze, Daniel Munoz with the best right-back performance I've seen. He got skinned by Doku several times in that game, but still, Daniel Munoz was still one of the best players on the pitch. It is the year 2025, and Manuel Akanji still plays football for Manchester City. Rico Lewis is the reason why we are in this final, and I would have loved nothing more than to have him start this game. Preferably Matheus Nunes. Matheus Nunes didn't play the last two games, and shock, we tie Southampton, and we lose to Crystal Palace. And another big shocker is that Akanji played in those two games. I'm not going to exaggerate here, but I honestly think Manuel Akanji should be arrested. Why? Because the brother doesn't care. He was going to be lip-syncing Drake songs for the next 12 hours in his G-Wagon, not giving a shit, collecting his 160,000, 200,000 pounds per week wage, and not giving a damn. This guy cannot run. I don't know why we are not playing Abdulkadir Husanov, who is twice the defender Akanji is. I had an aneurysm looking at that lineup today. No defensive midfielder. Pep Guardiola, you absolute buffoon. You absolute buffoon. Did you not learn anything from Chelsea in Porto? Did you not learn anything? Did you not learn anything from not employing a defensive midfielder? Honestly, how privileged are we? How privileged are we? It is actually absolutely embarrassing. You're not going to see any of these other Manchester City YouTubers talk like this because they are affiliated with the club. The club pays their salary. Of course, they will never criticize Pep Guardiola and the board. But it is absolutely embarrassing that we can spend 200 million in January and not use any of the players as much as we should have. Vitor Reis has played like 1 or 2 games. Abdulkadir had one mistake against Chelsea, and the commentators will still talk about it in 2077. Okay, but since then, he's been absolutely sensational. We would not have lost against Crystal Palace. I am 100% certain if Abdulkadir Husanov was on the pitch, if Nico Gonzalez was on the pitch. I'm looking at a lot of your comments from that post that I made, and I'm going to highlight some of them, some of my favorite ones here, and I honestly agree with a lot of things that y'all have been saying, all right, especially with a lot of love and support for Abdulkadir Husanov. I don't know why this man is not playing. He's one of our best defenders, and he's not playing. It is just absolutely shambolic by Pep Guardiola. Nico Gonzalez hasn't played. Nico Gonzalez didn't play in that FA Cup final. No defensive midfielder in that FA Cup final. Bernardo Silva is so incredibly predictable. I know exactly what he's going to do before he does it, and I'm not even a professional football player. I'm going to quickly talk about the transfers, and it seems that we might actually be getting Tijani Reinders from AC Milan. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing his name. That would be an absolutely incredible signing. He is a top-class player. A lot of City fans and a lot of City YouTubers are using the word world-class. He's not world-class. Relax. Let's just see him develop first. And of course, one of the biggest transfer news of the weekend is that Manchester City have walked away from negotiations with Florian Wirtz, and in my opinion, it is complete and utter horseshit. Obviously, we didn't walk away. He never wanted us. He rejected us, and that's what we are saying in the media to protect our image. He didn't want us, and I'm so glad for the sake of football, because I love football more than I love Manchester City and Fenerbahce. By the way, Galatasaray just won the Turkish league over the weekend. This has been one of the worst weekends / best weekends, topsy-turvy weekends of my life, and I'm turning 25 on Thursday. Absolutely weird, but regardless, this has been an absolute shit show with transfers. Morgan Gibbs-White is a good player. He's not a great player, he's a good player. Am I excited about the signing? No, I will likely be making a video about Morgan Gibbs-White in the future, and I'll give you all the details about that. Tijani Reinders, signing him would be absolutely mental. 55 to 60 million pounds is, in my opinion, that's a fair value for him. I think it's like 10 to 15 million pounds, a little bit too much than what I would have paid for him. I want somebody like Xavi Simons. If Florian Wirtz is going to be headed to Liverpool, we are in deep shit. Tomorrow we play Bournemouth, and if we don't win that game, I honestly think I might jump out of the window into a vat of acid, because that is where I'm at mentally. If we don't win that game, we are 100% not making top 5. We are not making the Champions League, and honestly, we don't even deserve it. Winning the FA Cup would have been absolutely sensational, in my opinion. Obviously, a lot of you older Manchester City fans who've been watching the club for a long time, the ones in Manchester, will obviously disagree with what I'm saying about blaming Pep Guardiola, because it is ultimately his fault for the last couple of games. Giving me the same old bullshit that they've been giving for the last couple of weeks. Oh, he won us a treble. Oh, he did this. He did so much for us. He can have an off season. My friend, of course he can have an off season. But the thing is, we have the personnel to do better. I want us to lose with dignity. I want us to lose while using some of our younger players like Nico Gonzalez, Abdulkadir, Jumanji next season, Echeverri, okay, Foden a lot more, Doku, Savino, Oscar Bob, obviously players like that, Nico O'Reilly, Rico Lewis, players like that. I want us to lose with a dignity and giving an effort. Not Bernardo Silva touching the ball for 5 minutes and with 10 seconds to go, passing it backwards because that's all he knows how to do in today's day and age. I want us to lose with dignity. Let me know your thoughts about Florian Wirtz and the FA Cup final, and what's your thoughts about this season as a whole. Is it a complete failure? Can we salvage this season? Would it be a good season if we beat Bournemouth tomorrow and get top 5 ultimately? Let me know your thoughts. I will see you all tomorrow.